"Margaret, you were brilliant tonight," a fellow actor said, stepping into the dimly lit dressing room after a particularly moving performance. "Thank you," she replied with a modest smile, carefully removing her stage makeup. "But it's the play that's brilliant. I'm just its messenger." Even in her earliest roles, Margaret's talent shone through. She had a rare ability to inhabit her characters completely, making audiences believe every word, every gesture. But it wasn't just talent that set her apart. It was resilience. You see, Margaret's journey to becoming a celebrated actress wasn't without its trials. Her husband, Thomas, was a towering figure in the theater world, a man of immense talent and charisma. Together, they were a formidable duo, admired and envied in equal measure. But life in their household wasn't always easy. Thomas, for all his genius, had a mercurial temperament and an ego that could cast long shadows. Margaret often found herself playing the role of peacemaker, smoothing over tensions and holding their family together. One evening, after a particularly heated argument about an upcoming production, Thomas sat brooding in his study. Margaret approached him cautiously, a cup of tea in hand. "Thomas," she said softly, "you've always said the theater is about collaboration, about trust. Let's not lose sight of that." He looked up at her, his expression softening. "You're right, as always," he murmured. "You keep me grounded, Margaret. I don't say that enough." They had their share of happy moments too, shared triumphs on the stage, quiet evenings at home with their children, and the unspoken understanding that they were better together than apart. But in 1989, everything changed. Thomas fell gravely ill, and Margaret watched helplessly as the man who had been her partner in life and art slipped away. His death left a void that seemed impossible to fill. For a time, Margaret withdrew from the public eye. Friends worried that the grief might consume her, that she might retreat entirely. But Margaret had always been stronger than she appeared. In the months that followed, she found solace where she always had, in her craft. Returning to the stage wasn't just a career decision, it was a lifeline. "Are you sure you're ready?" her daughter asked gently as Margaret prepared for her first role after Thomas's passing. "I'll never be ready," Margaret admitted, "but the show must go on," and go on it did. Margaret's performances in the years that followed were some of the most poignant of her career, infused with the depth and wisdom that only loss can bring. Audiences marveled at her ability to convey vulnerability and strength in equal measure. Colleagues spoke of her quiet leadership, her refusal to let personal tragedy overshadow her professional commitment. Margaret's life was a testament to the power of resilience, to the idea that even in the face of unimaginable loss, one can find a way to carry on. Because you see, Margaret wasn't her real name. It was just a placeholder for a woman who embodied grace and determination. Today, the world remembers her as Joan Plowright, an actress, a widow, and a living example of resilience in the face of life's greatest challenges. And now you know the rest of the story.